相信我可以，有目标就往上爬。你相信你可以，勇敢地往前冲吧。有想法就有办法，有办法就不用怕，我们一起到达是 No.1 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量，我们一起到达企业家，超越表现的力量。相信我可以，有目标就往上爬。你相信你可以，勇敢地往前冲吧。有想法就有办法，有办法就不用怕，我们一起到达是 No.1 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量，我们一起到达强大的企业家，超越表现的力量。我相信我可以，有目标就往上爬。你相信你可以，勇敢地往前冲吧。有想法就有办法，有办法就不用怕，我们一起到达是 No.1 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量，我们一起到达是 No.1 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量。 标就往上爬。你相信你可以勇敢的往前冲吧，有想法就有办法，有办法就不用怕，我们一起到达。我相信我可以，有目标就往上爬。你相信你可以，勇敢的往前冲吧，有想法就有办法，有办法就不用怕，我们一起到达。是 number one， 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量，我们一起到达。超越表现的力量。我相信我可以，有目标就往上爬。你相信你可以，勇敢的往前冲吧，有想法就有办法，有办法就不用怕，我们一起到达。是 number one， 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量，我们一起到达。超越表现的力量。我相信。
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our webinar on a Friday afternoon. I hope you all had your lunch already. So I hope you're ready for a good session with us and YYC Xero and all of you today to have a good webinar session on how to move your systems onto the cloud, right? So I'll see you soon. We'll be starting at 2:30 p.m. sharp. So get all your snacks ready, your drinks ready, and get comfortable. We will see you again in 5 minutes. Yeah, so see you soon.
我们一起到达是 number one， 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量，我们一起到达是 number one， 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量。我相信我可以，有目标就往上爬。你相信你可以，勇敢的往前冲吧。有想法就有办法，有办法就不用怕。我们一起到达是 number one， 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量。我们一起到达是 number one， 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量。我相信我可以，有目标就往上爬。你相信你可以，勇敢的往前冲吧。有想法就有办法，有办法就不用怕。我们一起到达是 number one， 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量。我们一起到达是 number one， 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量。
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today on a Friday afternoon to have a good session with us, hopefully with YYC Xero, to learn more about going onto the cloud. Yeah. So today I'll be very happy to have you with us, our viewers, to stay all the way to the end so that you can enjoy not only a Q&A session that will be live with us, as well as a special promo, yeah? So without further ado, let me just bring my screen up online to start the session for today. Yeah, so thank you so much again for joining us, and hopefully today we will be able to share with you how you can move your business to the cloud and online now. Yeah, so a lot of people ask me, hey Joyce, is MCO 3.0 a typo because we're all now on MCO 2.0, right? So what we're trying to get at is that we're hoping there will be no more MCOs after this, meaning no more movement control orders, but MCO 3.0 would mean that you are now moving your business onto the cloud and online. Yeah, so that was what we're trying to get at with our hopefully catchy header right here, right? So yeah, let me just jump right in and start the session for today. Okay, before I go on to start our content, I'll take a few moments to introduce to you us as YYC. Who is going to be conducting this session today. Basically, YYC, we are a professional services firm who has been in the industry for over 47 years, and we are locally homegrown in Malaysia. And today, we are very proud to say that we span 2 countries, not only Malaysia, but we also have a branch all the way in Singapore. And we have 800 over employees with 20 over 1,000 clients today. And we have had workshops of more than 5,430 plus participants. Yeah. So YYC, as I mentioned earlier, is all over Malaysia. We have branches in the northern region in Penang, as well as in the southern region in Johor. And of course, our HQ is in here, Kuala Lumpur, in the heart of KL. And all the way in Singapore as well, we have a branch which is able to service all our clients in our neighboring country. Yeah, so this is where YYC is at. And we also have many services that we offer, which is compliance services such as audit and tax, advisory services, from strategic planning to outsourced CFO to even corporate finance services such as restructuring, valuation, and so on and so forth. We also cover a business school, which trains a lot of top executives as well as their staff members. And we also have global business services, which allows us to not only service Malaysia or Singapore, we are also able to service the international market with our outsourced accounting and bookkeeping, as well as payroll services. Yeah, so that's just a little snippet of YYC. And with that, I would like to proudly share with you something that is YYC is the first and only Malaysian Xero Platinum partner. Yeah, so that's something, a badge that we are proudly carrying. And also, we have more than 10 years of experience introducing Xero in Singapore. And that's why today we have with us our Xero consultant and our Xero account manager all the way from Singapore to be on our panel. So without further ado, allow me to introduce my fellow panelists for today. Yeah. So firstly, I'd like to introduce Fan Shen. He's our Xero account manager, who's been a very good partner for us, who's been helping our clients non-stop with any issues or any things that they want to know about Xero. And we're so happy that he can join us for this session to also help to educate you a little bit about cloud accounting, as well as share with you what Xero can do for you and your business. Yeah, hi Fan Shen, thank you for joining us all the way from Singapore.
Hi Joyce, thanks for having me. It's an honor to be here on this webinar with you. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the sharing session for our audience.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we can't wait as well. Yeah, and next on my panelist is Vivian, who is my colleague from YYC, and she's been a Xero consultant as well as advisor to all our clients, ranging from SMEs to MNCs, who's also been training our clients to get onto the cloud and using Xero as well. She's also been an outsourced bookkeeper from traditional softwares all the way to the cloud software. So she's the right person to have today to perform a demo later. So be sure to stay tuned. Vivian, want to say a quick hello to everyone?
Hi everyone. Thanks for joining Xero live webinar today. So I'll be the one to be sharing about Xero demo later. So stay tuned for that. Right? Can't wait.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. So without further ado, I will now move on to sharing with you what we're here for today, yeah, to learn a little bit more about Xero going onto the cloud and getting your business to the next level. So I'll just start off before going into anything else on how we are currently doing our financial reporting, right? The old school way of doing things, which you can see is a very linear approach from what you can see on the screen right now. So basically how this usually works is that we will usually have a finance personnel sitting in our finance department, collating information from external parties such as the banks, our suppliers and customers. And then this will take a lot of time and effort and energy to have this kind of manual data collection, right? And the next step would be transferring that data that has been collected into a desktop software, right? And usually at the end of the month, our finance personnel will all be taking OT and spending a lot of time putting everything, like, you know, Jim Carrey in this GIF here, and frantically putting all their manual data entry into the system. And after that, you will see a need to reconcile what you have already put into the system. And most of the time, this reconciliation is done outside of the system instead of inside the system, right? So this takes, again, a lot of effort and energy. And with that, a lot of the finance personnel, and not only just the finance personnel, but, you know, other operational managers who are trying to reconcile items with what was put into the software, will find that, you know, they have a lot of headache. They're stressed out trying to meet the reporting deadlines, and you will have people who want to throw their computer to the wall, right, because of that. And then lastly, you will have your financial reporting coming out from the reconciliation, and that would most of the time take at least half a month to 1 month or more to generate, right? And then when you pass it to the boss, it's like a historical data that is no longer beneficial for the current decision making that needs to be made, right? So at the end of the day, you will see a lot of time, effort, energy, as well as money being spent on entire financial reporting. And at the end of the day, the results also do not give you what you want, which is the real-time insights of your business and to make the correct types of decisions at the correct time, right? So I would like to now bring you to how taking one step, you know, moving on to the cloud is able to not only help your business digitalize, but also grow as well. So earlier, if you remember, it was a very linear layout, but now moving on to a new financial reporting process, the outlook of it is very different. So if you can see, it's more of an ecosystem as opposed to a process, right? How this works is that firstly, you will have a cloud software sitting right in the middle of the ecosystem. So for example, Xero being a cloud accounting software, sitting right in the middle. And then your external parties, such as your banks, your suppliers, and your customers will be feeding information directly into the system. So remember how you had a personnel previously collecting data and running here and there all around town to get the correct information. But now with a new financial reporting process whereby you're moving your system onto a cloud system, you are able to send data from server to server without the need of any manual data collection, right? And lastly, at a click of a button, you can generate your financial reports. Do you see the middle part of the entire system earlier has been taken out because reconciliation is done within the system and not outside of the system. So the personnel that are sitting in your finance department are now taking more high-level types of jobs as well as engagement to be able to ensure that whatever that's fed into the system is able to give them the financial reports that they need, as well as what their business owners and their bosses need as well, right? So this takes away a lot of the manual data entry, manual reconciliation, and everything is automated. And on top of that, the data will have high integrity because it is a server-to-server push of data without the need of a human person putting it into the system. Therefore, the integrity is there. And also, with a system on the cloud, you will have data security, which has continuous certification, which is what I will share with you a little bit more on later. Yeah. So this is the new way of financial reporting, as opposed to how it was previously. Right? And at the end of the day, a cloud software will act as a robo-advisor, if you will, and it will take away all the need for you to go through that pain, headache, blood, sweat, and tears just to generate and crunch your numbers and come up with the financial reports on time, right? So how can taking this one step really help to grow your business? I'm sure that's on the minds of all business owners, and not only that, the supporting staff members as well, because in this day and age and this climate that we are facing right now, there is just so much that needs to be done with so little time, right? So how does moving your system onto the cloud help you to take away all of that headache, right? So there's so many features, like for example, a cloud system like Xero has, which you can see on your screen now. And I will take you through one by one to share with you just a little bit, some tips on how this can work, right, for you. So firstly, Xero itself, being a cloud system, is able to allow you to quote your customers and potential customers online and invoice them online as well. And that, together with unlimited users and user role functions that you can set for your staff, you are able to, just with a handheld device, mobilize your entire sales team to do and go out and have sales for you at the comfort of their own home. So can you imagine, now your sales members do not have to go out, print out a copy of a quotation, send it over to the client, have them sign it, scan it back, just to close a deal, right? All they have to do with a cloud system such as Xero is to send a quotation online via an email, get it accepted, and close the deal. That is as simple as 2 clicks, right? So with that, you can see that your business is able to continue to operate despite being in a lockdown. And also, invoicing can be done almost immediately after a quotation is accepted, and it can be sent to a client, and they can even pay online, which I will share with you later, right? And secondly, with cloud accounting software such as Xero, there is also an online payment function, as I mentioned earlier, and it also has invoice reminders. So right now, I think a lot of the main thing that is on most of our clients as well as business owners' mind is my cash and my cash flow, right? I have a lot sitting in my trade receivables, which I am not able to collect, and I need the cash right now. So how can you, being a business owner, moving onto a cloud system, help your business by collecting faster, right? I'd just like to share with you some statistics done by Xero on the average debtor days for clients who have moved onto Xero from 2015 to 2019, how that number of days has decreased. So in 2015, it was found that the average debtor days was 57 days. However, as the years go by of using Xero, the online payment function, and invoice reminders, in 2019, we saw that the average debtor days went down to only 20 days. And that is about 1/3 of what it was in 2015. And if you take 60 minus 20, that is 40 days that you are saving of needing to finance your customers, right? And that means 1 month, more than 1 month's worth of interest cost that you are saving for yourself. And on top of that, you're taking away the headache and the worries that you are having on your cash flow. So can you imagine that? It's just something that's crazy, right? Just by moving one step onto a cloud system, you are able to save so much of cost and so much of worry for yourself as well as your business, right? With that, we have been seeing SMEs getting paid faster with Xero. Of course, as I mentioned, online invoicing and invoice reminders. And with the online payment function, again, being in lockdown, it will not deter your clients from paying you simply. All you have to do is just send the invoice online. There is a Pay Now button on the invoice, and the clients can just click on that button, make their payments online, and voila, you are paid, right? There is no need to wait. There is no need to wait for them to cut checks or go onto their system, their banking system, to make a payment and then send you the slip and for you to put it into your system again, because it is all within the cloud system itself. And currently, Xero is integrated with PayPal as well as Stripe and Nets in Singapore, which makes it so much simpler for you. And thirdly, if you're going onto the cloud, you will also see that you will get real-time insights. I think this is one of the most important things that our clients, the business owners, are looking for today, right? And on top of that, with, like I mentioned earlier, a cloud system allows for the direct bank feeds, meaning a server-to-server connection with the banks, whereby your transactions are directly fed into the system. And so you know where your cash flow is at as well, right? So to have that kind of real-time insights, you're able to just click a button and have a snapshot of your business to see where your trends are moving, how much you're being owed, how much you have to pay out for the month or the next 3 months, where your margins are at. And I think all these are so important, especially in this climate today, whereby we need to make decisions now when policies are just changing at a snap of a finger, right? And secondly, you can also see your cash flow because of the direct bank feeds, and you can also know how to plan ahead and forecast as well. So with that, you will see your business grow exponentially, and you will also allow yourself to be competitive in the market, even though we're all in a lockdown, right? Fourthly, there is also 800 plus add-on applications when you move onto the cloud. As I mentioned earlier, you are actually building an ecosystem, not just a linear process, right? And with that, you will see improved efficiency. So I think a lot of people here are wondering, how does this work? What do you mean by building an ecosystem? So let me just put it in a nice little diagram for you. Basically, how that works is that you will have your cloud system sitting in the middle, such as Xero. And on top of that, you will also have 800, you have an option of 800 applications to integrate with this cloud system. So for example, if you're running a retail outlet, you can have your POS systems, you can have your inventory management and warehouse management system. You can even have your payroll system and your workflows, from how you can move things around, who is doing what, to be monitored within one system, which is by integrating all these different parts of your business to Xero itself via the add-on applications, right? And with that, again, it brings you back to the real-time visibility and the convenience of having everything at the palm of your hands. You do not need to call up your warehouse manager to ask, hey, what's happening over there? Do we have enough stock? Are we restocking well, right? You don't have to call up your branches to find out, hey, what's happening over there? How's the sales today? Is the takings enough to cover our expenses, right? And payroll, you don't have to worry because your HR can key everything into the application, which will then be fed back into the system. And of course, workflows. We would just like to be the little cat at the bottom there looking at one screen to know what's happening in the business, right? So this is how, with the 800 plus apps in the ecosystem, you're able to integrate all your different departments together and bring it all within your cloud system. And with YYC being a platinum partner of Xero, we are more than happy to help you, of course. Please put in your questions if you have any below, and we will be glad to answer them accordingly later, yeah? Okay, and lastly, my last tip on how going onto the cloud can help your business grow is if you see what's happening in this GIF here, you have this guy sitting at his desk rifling through all the paperwork just to find a amount that has not reconciled, right? But with the cloud, you can now have online document storage. So I'm not sure how happy you are with something like that, with a feature like that, but as accountants, it is something to shout about, because it allows us to just click into whatever transaction that has been done to double check with the corresponding document to ensure that what we have entered is correct. Previously, we will always have to go to the warehouse, ask for the filing room manager to bring out all the dusty files and rifle through the documentations like the gentleman in the GIF below, just to find one little decimal point that went wrong. But now, with online document storage, you are able to go onto the cloud system and retrieve any information you want at the palm of your hands, right? And also, there is nothing to install for going onto the cloud, i.e. you do not need a server, you do not need IT maintenance, because everything is already managed by the cloud system itself. And there is an enterprise-grade level data security, which I think a lot of our clients are always worried about, because they want to ensure that whatever they put into the system is safe and secure, right? So as mentioned, with Xero, there is multiple firewall layers and network security. There is also around-the-clock physical security, and there is also regular third-party audits and inspections, right? Now, of course, Xero has built a two-step authentication to ensure that anyone that is trying to log into Xero from any of the devices is able to be the legit person that is going into your system. Yeah, and all your data is then securely stored online and at no additional cost. So that, I think, is one of the most important things, especially when if you are having a remote server, usually you will have to pay for IT maintenance as well as data security. But with the cloud system, you do not have to worry about that. Right, so yeah, crazy emoji there. Yeah, so without further ado, let me pass my session over to our partner, Function, who will share with you more about what Xero has been doing for all our neighboring countries as well as Malaysia, and also what Xero can do for you. So Function, over to you.
Hi, thanks, Joyce. And hi again, everyone. So my name is Fanshan, and although I'm based in Singapore, but I cover Malaysia for Xero, and I work closely with partners like YYC. We are very thankful to have YYC as well as our premier platinum partner in Malaysia today, and we've been working closely with them for a number of years now. And YYC is one of the partners that are actively pushing the move to the cloud. So you can trust that they know what they're talking about. So today, for the next 5 minutes or so, I'd just like to give a brief introduction about Xero, our history, so that you know where we come from, the reason and purpose for us being in the market. And after that, I'll pass the time over to Vivian to show you a demo of our platform. So if you ask, most of our advisors today, what is Xero? The easiest way that we can really summarize it is beautiful accounting software. Why the word beautiful? Well, as we started on our journey and as we expanded in different countries, we reflected on really what is it that we want to do as a company. So our purpose is to make life better for people in small businesses, their advisors, and communities around the world. How do we do this? Well, typically when we talk to business owners in the past about their finances and about their accounts, etc., this often becomes a point of annoyance at times, right? Because no one wants to be bogged down daily, monthly with all these back-end work. What they like to do is focus on making money. So what we strive to do is to connect advisors like YYC together with the banks, the apps that you need at SME, and enterprises to work together through our platform. And to provide positive economic contribution to the world by making the whole process of accounting a lot more seamless and fun and beautiful. So as per what Joyce mentioned before as well, if we want to summarize, what we also aim to do in a nutshell, it's to be the most insightful and trusted small business platform. Now, a little bit about our history, just for your context. Xero was actually founded back in 2006, and we were founded in New Zealand by Rod Drury and Hamish Edwards as a response to the market's need for cloud accounting software that you could access anytime, anywhere. So in the last 14 years, we've grown pretty quickly. And now we are found in more than 180 countries with more than 100,000 accounting and bookkeeping partners working with us. We also have more than 1,000 connected apps, banks, and financial services plugged into our ecosystem, where we have data, flowing between different softwares and systems that allow you to stay up to date with finances. The past 12 months as well, we've processed about 2.62 trillion transactions, that have been published into Xero through our subscribers. As a growing company as well, today we're pleased to say that we have 14 global offices that ensures that we are able to proudly serve our clients across the globe. And we've got more than 3,000 employees today. Recently as well, in September 2020, we crossed a major milestone of hitting more than 2.4 million unique subscribers globally. So you can be sure that Xero is a trusted platform across the planet. Xero is also today listed on the Australian Stock Exchange. So if you're interested to dive a little bit deeper into our numbers, all this data is freely available. And here are some high-level stats that you will be able to find as well in our annual and quarterly reports. We're also very proud to announce that in a recent report done by IDC, which is one of the world's leading market intelligence firms, they've recognized Xero as a worldwide leader in the cloud-enabled and accounting application space, as you can see on the top right-hand corner of the diagram. This report is also available online if you'd like to dig a little bit deeper and find out, what are the metrics in comparison between different softwares. Now that I've shared a little bit about Xero, I'd like to dive, into the Malaysian market a little more and some of the findings that we've discovered over the past few years. So, having been in the market for about 3 to 4 years now, the common issues that are brought up by Malaysian SMEs, and I know this may seem a little bit obvious, but I'd like to bring them up anyway, as these often come up. One is keep up competition, right? Every day, there are businesses popping up, and you're always faced with competitors and from all directions. Second would be managing cash flow. So being able to time your cash flows, right? Ensuring that what's coming in is greater than what's going out, in simple terms. And lastly, growing your business at speed. So besides having these high-level qualitative facts, we've recently also done a study in Singapore and Malaysia, and we're doing a deeper study in Malaysia for the coming year. But some of the findings are these. So talking about efficiency and time spent, right? An average SME spends about 5 weeks per year chasing overdue invoices. This is, I can empathize, this is a nightmare, I think, for any business owner, right? You multiply those 5 weeks by the number of hours spent on these things. It means that that's time taken away from you, from helping a business to make more money. SMEs also spend an average of 15.5 hours a month manually reconciling their bank statement data. So this means needing to take whatever cash transactions you have in your bank statement, putting it into an accounting system and reconciling it with your books. So again, this is what distracts a lot of business owners as well from what they need to be doing best. And lastly, we've also found that 89% of SMEs actually want to improve efficiency in their business and have taken steps to do so. So all in all, where does Xero fit into this? Again, what we want to do is to enable the small business economy in Malaysia to thrive through beautiful software, through advice from trusted partners like YYC, and also leveraging on the wide ecosystem of apps and connections that we have plugged into Xero. Now, at the end of this, sharing our intro of Xero, I'd like to show you a short video of an inspirational little agriculture farm/restaurant business was an early user of Xero. One moment, please.
I'm Lisa, and I own a little farm on the hill together with my husband Pete. We're essentially a fruit and vegetable organic farm, and we also have a farm-to-table restaurant. My parents have had the farm for a long time. We started spending more time up here, and then we officially took it over about 3 years ago. It just felt like time to do something different. It happened very slowly and very organically.
Lisa was an architect and I make films and music. So when we first started, we didn't know anything. So we started Googling stuff, and I'm not joking, we learned farming from Google.
I mean, we didn't even have potted plants in town, and the big joke was we never wanted a garden, and suddenly we've ended up with 7 acres of garden. Although what we're doing is very basic and very fundamental, I don't think any of it would have been possible without technology.
We're so online dependent as a business.
People make bookings online, that automatically goes into Xero, so it just makes it all much simpler for us.
My favorite thing is the simplicity of it all. Our whole business is built on the idea of simplicity. We don't like complications. It used to be quite messy.
Xero and CIMB direct bank feeds certainly help us have a very up-to-date picture on where we are to make the correct decisions for our business.
In the back of our mind, we really want this to be far more than just a farm with a restaurant on it. We enjoy our business, but it's also feeling responsible for being farmers, feeling responsible for the stewardship of the land. We look at it as a community we're building, and it's a livelihood, it's a lifestyle. And that runs through everything we do.
All right, so that brings me to the end of my short intro/history about Xero. Again, thanks Joyce for having me here today, and I'll be staying on as well for the Q&A after this. I'd like to pass the time over to Vivian, who's a trusted internal Xero consultant at YYC, to take you through the demo. On to you, Vivian.
Right, thanks, Fanshan. Hi everyone, I'm Vivian. I'm sure everyone has known me. Okay, so I know everyone is very exciting. Want to have a look? How does Xero software looks like, isn't it? Okay, so give me a few seconds. Let me share my screen here. Okay, now so I'm sure everyone can see my share screen here. So let's begin. Okay, so the moment you log into Xero, it will show you a very simple dashboard here, and that's where you can see business bank account movements, total cash in and out reports in the bar chart, then account watch list, invoices owed to you, and last but not least is bills you need to pay. So let's just say your company wants to issue a quotation to client. So we actually click a quotes function in Xero, and I'm giving one example that I created one, right? So once all done, what do? We always email to client, isn't it? But how about I said I can email to client directly from Xero? So this email address, we can set it in the contact list, set the email settings inside Xero. So once all done, we click send, then it will directly email the client. So let's just say I'm a client, I receive the email and I click the link and view. So this is how the quotation looks like. And by the way, you know, all these kind of templates, demo, company logo, quotes, all this, it actually can customize as per your preference to fit in as how your template looks like. So let's say come back to client, I look at this 1,000 and I want to ask for discount. I can just click this comment button, type, hey, can I have a discount for this? So, and I click send. So of course, coming back as a user of Xero, I receive the notification from client. Then I can actually come back here, click options, click revise. Then I can input 20% discount that I want to give the client. So once all done, I just click update, and I can give a very quick notification to client and say, hey, I've already updated the quotations. Have a look, at the new quotes. So me as a client, I come back to this one. What I'm gonna do is I just click refresh. And so now you can see it actually changed from 1,000 to 800. And the one that 20% I input just now is already here. So that's right, it's a real-time change, all right? So me as a client, am I satisfied? Am I happy that my client, my supplier responds quick? Of course, I'm happy. My supplier responds really quick. And if I were to satisfy with the price, I just click accept. So the moment the user knew, the client accepted, it actually changed from sent to accepted. And I know all of you, the audience outside here right there, gonna ask one question. Vivian, I know this is a real-time software, it's very fantastic, but how do we manage those users have edited the accounts before, amended the price? How can we know that? So let me give you a quick one that Xero has a very strong audit trail. They are also known as history and notes. So I scroll down here, and that's where I call history and notes. I click here show all, and that's where they can actually show it changed from 1,000 to 800. Do you know what's my favorite one over here amongst all? The quote view. Meaning to say, the moment the client clicks the link and view the quotes, Xero will capture it. So it's not only just quotation, even like sales invoices, any other place, they also can capture it. All right. So let's say I already knew. Okay, let's say I want to create the sales invoice. I just click this create invoice, click mark as invoice, create it. Okay, so they actually direct from quotation to sales invoice. And let's say I already updated everything, all done. So what to do next? Email to client again. Okay, so you can see it actually cut down lots of admin work. Admin work actually wastes a lot of times. All right, so we cut it down and also go green. So already email, client, click the link and view again. This is the invoice. So I'm sure all of you have heard earlier, maybe Joyce has also mentioned that they can integrate with 800 different types of apps in the Xero marketplace. So one of them is payment gateway. That's why you can see there's a function here, payment pay now button. So meaning to say, if the client want to make payment for this invoice, just click this pay now button. They will bring you to one page and make payment. And what's next? It's sync to Xero. Naturally, update in Xero accounts at the same time. Save times, right? You can work anywhere, anytime too. Okay. So the next one I'm going to share is, I know Xero looks very fantastic software, but how about I'm going to share with you another one, Invoice Reminders. So why this? He also mentioned, let us follow up overdue invoices for you. In any other conventional companies, how do we always follow up payment with client? Call, email, attach invoices. How about we leave it to Xero to find out which client is still overdue to you? They will email together with the invoices to client. So there are 3 default reminders here. I click one example, 7 days. So you can see we can actually set the email settings inside. We need to say overdue by 7 days, they'll prompt client to make payment. How about those users? They do want after the due date. They want before the due date. Can we do that? Yes. Just change it to due in. See, change the word to due soon. Then just click save. So another win of Xero software. Save another admin work, right? Okay. So I show you another one. Bills to pay. So what's bills to pay? Incur all kinds of expenses. And I give you another quick sharing about bookkeepers. Do you know amongst all the accounts inside, which are the largest transaction is expenses? We have to spend a lot of time incurring the bills. Okay. So come back here as usual, we key in all manually. But something special about Xero is we can upload the soft copy inside. So meaning to say, in future, you do not have to run back to the storeroom or look for the cabinet to say what documents is this. Am I keying correctly or not? There's no need. Just search everything all here. You can search your documents in anywhere, anytime, in any device. What's so special about Xero is we can also invite auditor and tax agent into Xero. So meaning to say, in future, their time to come in to do audit anything, just invite them in to Xero. You can extract all documents inside. So today, I know it sounds very good, but how about I'm going to share with you a one third-party app called Receipt Bank. They have a very strong OCR function that is, you upload the documents in, they capture all the details by itself. Sounds very good, isn't it? So right now I'm sharing here Receipt Bank. And one example, I upload this Starbucks receipts. And now you can see the date, supplier name, invoice numbers. They also capture by itself, all right, including the amount because of the OCR functions. So human error also reduced down. And how about the double entry and descriptions? Can we actually prefix it because it's a recurring thing? So I'm going to share one example. All right, set supply rules. So I'm going to tell is, if you ever see this Berjaya Starbucks, I want you to key in as staff refreshment, and I want you to key in as tea break. Just for one sample. Then I click apply. All done. And let's say I put as awaiting approval, and I click publish. So right in within few seconds, it flow into Xero. So I see I click the bills to pay. See, there's one awaiting approval, already flow in. So is it faster than you typing by yourself? Is it even the invoice number, everything they key in by themselves? All right. Trust me, I'm also a bookkeeper. Receipt Bank has really helped me a lot. Actually twice or double, triple times increase my efficiency in my work life. So want to know more about Receipt Bank, and do you know Receipt Bank can also do staff claims? Want to know more? Don't forget the PM. We'll be very happy to do one-to-one demo with all of you. Share more about Xero and Receipt Bank. All right. Okay. So the next one, bank reconciliations. I know most business owners leave it to your accountants to do it, isn't it? But I give you a quick one sharing. Actually, one bank reconciliation is one of the pain points of bookkeepers doing, especially like doing all the work, singular line checkings can lose track. And Function has also mentioned that we spend at least 15 hours to do bank reconciliation, which is actually true. So today, I'm going to share with you how we do bank reconciliations. First of all, get a bank statement in CSV form and import to Xero. So that is why you can see my left-hand side, there is a bank statement, and my right-hand side is the ledgers. But if you have CIMB, as you can see the video earlier, there's a agriculture, they say CIMB and Xero, meaning to say you do not need to import to the bank statement into Xero. The bank statement will update daily by its own. Okay. So let me share two examples. So one example is Ridgeway University, invoice 0025 6187.50. So special things about Xero is they can also auto match. You see, there's a green highlight. You say it is the one. If it's yes, just click OK. You're done with one reconciliation. Another thing about Xero is something different about conventional with Xero. Okay, I share with you one about conventional. They have to comply the process from A to Z. If you miss out one, you can do the bank reconciliation at the back end, such as like you forgot to update the payment methods. All right. So how about Xero? I share one sample here. Smart agency, you spend 4,500, but they couldn't match because you forgot to update the payment. Not to worry, because Xero is very flexible. You can also update payment and bank reconciliation on the same spot. just click match. And see there's a two bill, right? So mathematic times 4,500, 2,000, 2,500, 4,500. Update payment and reconciliation on the spot. Done. Okay, so all done. All right. So how about if you have a lot of branches, all the bookkeepers, they do it, finish, complete all the bank reconciliation. Let's say the city limousines, they really couldn't figure it out. What's this? So they can go to discussion tab, they can actually comment inside here. Then they click one button called save. So once all done, they actually can run a report called uncoded statement lines. You just run the report, and this is a discussion the bookkeeper actually commented. After that, you just click export in PDF, and this is the PDF. Oh, hold on. Okay, so this is a PDF. So what the bookkeeper gonna do? Attach the email and blast out to all the colleagues or to the outlets or branches to ask, do they know this payment? So maybe one of the internal sales lady, she knew. She can actually reply, maybe Joyce is the sales lady, she can type it inside and she can click save and reply back to the account or the bookkeepers. Isn't it save a lot of times, and to complete the work is even quicker, right? Okay, lots of discussion, things and all. So I'm gonna say that a lot of bookkeepers gonna love this software a lot, especially the bank reconciliations. Right, so I know a lot of users here gonna ask, how does a bank balance sheets or profit and loss looks like in Xero? So I'm gonna tell you is they're all alike, not much different. So you can see this is the balance sheet, right? Not much different, huh? Profit and loss. Okay, not much different, huh? All right. So I'm almost done with my sharings. Okay, there's the last 3 sharings I'm going to share. So there's another one I'm going to share is short-term cash flow and business snapshot. Actually, about 6 months ago, Xero has actually just built in this function in maybe a lot of client requests to build in this one. So short-term cash flow forecast, also known as, I just mentioned cash flow forecast. So let's say I want to forecast in 30 days. That's why they show in 30 days ahead. This is my cash balance. More breakdown details, graph, invoices, OTG bills to pay. They break down everything. How about suggested actions? What do they mean? They encourage you to make plan when you're going to receive payment for clients or schedule the payment that you're planning to make payment to suppliers. So the more you plan, of course, the more accurate your cash forecast will become, right? So the next one is business snapshots. What's this? So many pictures inside. Okay, so a very quick sharing again. I know a lot of business owners nowadays, they know how to see their reports like profit and loss balance sheet. Everyone know how to see, but can we tell the trend movement of the business performance through looking at the figures? We can't tell unless we draw the pictures out. That is why Xero has built it in to show your profit and loss is making negative. Income expenses shown in the trend movement, all right? Then efficiency, gross profit versus cost of goods sold. Largest operating expenses, they highlight the top 5 expenses that you always spend on. Financial position and cash, actually also known as balance sheet. This is the new terms of it. All right. So they show in the pictures. Then overall cash balance. And last but not least is average turnover payable or receivable days. Okay, they show already. You don't have to calculate again. Right. So the last one I'm going to share is you have also heard that I can invite auditor tax agent in. And you have also heard unlimited users, meaning to say just pay monthly subscription fee. You can invite as many users as you want without any additional charge. But how about the authorization level? How can we manage them? Okay, share a quick one. There are 4 levels inside. invoice only, standard, advisor, and last is read only. So read only, let me rephrase. Invoice only, let's say you have a very wide department in your company. One manage on the sales side, one manage on the expenses side. You want to split two authority level. They can only see their own functions. Use invoice only. So standard and advisor, so what are the different? They are actually almost alike, but do you know they're actually quite a different? Advisor has the highest ranking amongst all. They can do journals, log the period dates, edit the company profile that standard cannot do it, right? And the last one is read only, such as who? Tax agent, auditors. You just want them to go into Xero, extract the documents, look around, not modifying the accounts. You can invite them in. As well as a business owner, you don't do accounts, right? So, all right, I already shared all my demo here, right? So if you want to know more about Xero, okay, once again, don't forget to PM us, right? We'll be very, very, very happy to demo with you one-to-one. All right, okay, thank you so much. All over back to you, Joyce. Thank you.
Hi, thanks Vivian. Thank you so much for the enlightening demo. I hope you guys could see what features Xero has, and let me just share with you that it's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more that we just don't have the time to share with you, but of course, please comment below if you'd like to know more. We will be happy to have a one-on-one session with you to show you what Xero can do for you and your company. Yeah. And for now, I'd like to share with you something that I think most of you have been waiting for, which is our promotional offer for the viewers of our webinar today. Yeah, thank you for being patient with us. Can I just have my screen on board again, so I can just share with you something that is special for all of you today. So before I go into our promotional offer, I'd like to share with you something that the government has done that is very good for our SME business community, which is called the MDEC SME Business Digitalization Grant of up to 5,000 ringgit. Yeah, the government's initiative is something that really helps us SMEs to go digital, to take our company and our business to the next level. The purpose of this grant is to allow for our SMEs in Malaysia to, not have to spend so much of their money in order to bring their technology and their systems onto the next level, such as going onto the cloud like Xero. Yeah, so YYC being an approved MDEC technology solutions provider, we are very proud to share with you a webinar special today on top of the digitalization grant. Yeah, so usually we give you a 3 months free subscription on Xero for viewing and tuning into our webinar. However, for today only, which is our webinar special, and because of the MCO, and we understand everyone is having to help each other, we would like to offer you 6 months. That's half a year, yeah. 6 months of free subscription on Xero, and on top of that, we are more than happy to assist you to apply for the MDEC SME Business Digitalization Grant. And that means you will have 5,000 ringgit to help your business and your company move onto a cloud platform and to just basically hopefully grow and accelerate from there on out. Yeah, so 6 months, half a year free subscription for you, for all our special viewers today who have tuned in with us. How do you do this? There's just a two-step approach. It's as easy as now. Comment PM, just comment PM below in our comment section to claim your promo. We will have you in our list, and we will just check your Facebook Messenger, whereby we will be giving you this 6 months promotional offer. Yeah, so comment PM below and you will get this 6 months promotional offer for tuning into our webinar today. We are more than happy to help all our SMEs, all our clients with going digital and bringing your business to the next level, right? So just comment PM below in the comment section, and our advisors will message you in your Facebook Messenger. Okay? Yeah. So without further ado, we have just a little bit more time to take on a few questions for our Q&A session. On top of that, please put your questions below as well. And of course, you can continue to put PM in the comment section so that we can contact you after this webinar. Okay, so I really see quite a number of questions that have come in. And yeah, I think they are very good questions that we would really like to address now since it's the Q&A. Okay, let me jump right into the first question from Lee Yok. How about my previous data if I want to change my accounting system to Xero? Okay, very good question, Lee Yok. But before that, can I have my fellow panelists join me as well, because they'll be also taking the questions from the floor. Yeah, hi Fanshan and hi Vivian. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna take some of the questions from the floor in our remaining time with our viewers. Okay, how about my previous data? Leo is asking, right? Maybe I can take that first. So for previous data, it's very easy for us to migrate over into Xero for you. Of course, we will always recommend that you come to a trusted advisor such as YYC so that we ensure that the data that is transferred from your previous software into Xero is something that is accurate and done accordingly, yeah, because sometimes some try to do it themselves and then it becomes a mess. So when you have a trusted advisor to do it for you, then you are ensured that the accuracy and the continuity is there, right? Okay, thanks for the question, Leo. And I see that you have also asked Vivian, can we have our own template for quotation? Vivian?
Sorry, I just can you repeat again? Like, can we have what template?
Yeah,
again?
sorry. So Lee Yok is asking, hi Vivian, can we have our own template for quotation?
Yes, of course. You can have your own template as long as you provide us a sample of your quotation template looks like. We can actually design specially for yours. All right. Okay. Not only just quotations, we can also do invoices. Okay, sales invoice, PO. We can also do that. All right. So as well as a debtor statement too. Okay. Right.
Great. Yeah. Thanks, Vivian. And Rachel is asking, how can I manage my inventory in Xero? Yeah, good question, Rachel. So I think you haven't seen the inventory module, but like I mentioned, we were able to just share the tip of the iceberg. But in Xero itself, we also have an inventory module whereby you're able to manage your inventory within the system itself. But of course, if your inventory is something that needs way more features, we are also able to recommend to you third-party applications that is able to suit your needs. Yeah. So inventory is definitely part of the system itself. But anything further, any other features that you need, we are able to recommend third-party applications that are also able that can also be integrated into Xero directly. Yeah. Okay. Let me just check the other Facebook. I think there's also a lot of questions there. Yeah. So. Okay, there's one question from Hui Jie. She says, what will happen to my data? Do I need to back up? Okay, I think there were some earlier questions as well, but I can't seem to open it now. I will try to get it open later, but what I can see is which has question which is on data. So basically your data will be stored in Xero itself, not to worry. It is a cloud storage system as well. Yeah, so it will always be there. You will not need to back up for as long as you're using Xero. But of course, being an advisor, we always say that it is good to have periodic backups so that, you know, in case of anything, you will still have a copy for yourself without having to log on to the system. Yeah. Is there anything to add to this function?
No. So
yeah.
I can see that Hui Jie also has another question on security. So I think that kind of ties in also with the need to do data backups. So just to add to what Joyce mentioned, as a advisor for their clients, I think YYC has a very good framework as well in terms of periodically backing up the data on request. But as Joyce mentioned, because we are cloud based, there isn't really that much of necessity to really back it up because the data is always there as long as you do not choose to delete it. In terms of security wise as well, we've been certified by a number of third-party auditors on the security side of things. So one of them would be EY. So EY, they have ISO type certification for cloud security, which we've gotten the approval for. And there's also a SOC 2 what we call service organization control report as well, that's been done by another independent auditor to study our cloud-based accounting system and whether or not it meets global security, availability, and confidentiality requirements, which we've all passed. So all these can be found actually online. If you just Google Xero security, you will be able to get the relevant documents as well if you require that assessment.
Yeah.
Right, back to you, Joyce. Yeah.
That's great. Thanks for the answer, Fanshan. I hope that answers your question, Hui Jie. We also have another question here from Maggie, who's asking, how about the tax amount section? Yeah, great question, Maggie. So we would like to share with you that Xero itself is SST compliant with the Malaysian tax regulations, right, and laws. And previously, it was also GST compliant. So rest assured, whatever tax regime or tax methods that we are using within our jurisdiction, right, Xero is always up to date and will ensure that its users are supported in this area. So you can see earlier from the demo, there's a tax section whereby we are able to help you set the tax codes and the tax amounts so that you can click on the correct codes for your transactions, right? Yeah, so thanks for that question. I think I have some issues looking at the questions that were coming up previously. Fanshan, do you mind just
Sure. Yeah. I think Chan Wing has a question on setting your own quotation and invoice format and numbers. Yes. You're able to set your invoice reference number within Xero if you like. Then you can also reset it, etc. And YYC will be well positioned to show you how to do so during a consultation. There is also another question by Tommy Lim on data migration. Is it easy? So with most cloud-based softwares in the accounting space, generally there should be an option for you to import your data if you're able to get it into an Excel CSV format. YYC also has their own migration services to aid you on that journey as well. So you can rest assured that they will be able to take care of your needs if you'd like to get them to help you with that.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, thanks, Fanshan, for the shout out. And now I can actually see some of the questions. So one is from Puyi Liu. She's asking, may I know this system can use for developers? Yeah, this system we can use for developers. Of course, there will need to be some add-on applications in terms of the project's accounting side of things. But definitely come to us. We will be able to advise you accordingly on the relevant ways of using the application and what is suitable for you. Yeah. And you asked for a quotation. That is great. Again, we will contact you separately to give you a quotation. We are more than happy to do so, and also to answer questions relevant to your industry and how the system can cater to it, right? Yeah, and a lot of PMs that I can see. Thank you so much for your support. There is other questions from Lee Yok that regarding fixed assets. Maybe Vivian, you can answer this on the fixed asset module on Xero.
Oh, so sorry, I accidentally mute. Okay, so fixed asset module in Xero is something that we usually do our fixed asset depreciation in Excel. But right now, we actually set our import into Xero, and we can also click a run depreciation buttons. They will actually automatically run the depreciation in every month in pro rata rather than just put one whole lump sum in the year end, right? Okay, so yeah, of course, if you want to run the fixed asset schedule, just run the report. Just run the fixed asset schedule report and hand over to auditor. That's all.
Yeah, so that is another module that I think a lot of us accountants love, because we don't need to keep an Excel spreadsheet outside of the system, and everything can be run within Xero's fixed assets just automatically together with the depreciation. Yeah. And then there's another question from Vivian Lee on how much is a month subscription. Good question, Vivian. The pricing is pretty standard online for the different types of plans. For the business plan, they have the starter, the standard, and the premium plan. So it depends on your needs, right? So different monthly subscriptions. But one thing good about coming to YYC is that we will charge you in Malaysian ringgit, so you don't have to worry about any withholding tax or any other forex exchange type of issues, whereby we take care of that. And all you have to do is just pay YYC in Malaysian ringgit, and it's a fixed amount. Yeah. So again, I will be happy to contact you separately to discuss on a quotation for that. Yeah. And we'll be happy to answer all the features that comes with the different plans. Yeah. And Chan Wing was asking, does the bank reconciliation require to connect to the bank account? Okay, good question, Chan Wing. So there's two parts to it, yeah. Bank reconciliation does not need a connection to a direct bank feed from the bank to the bank account. Direct bank feeds basically allows your bank to transfer all the transactions in your online banking into Xero to be shown on Xero itself. And then bank reconciliation can be done or performed with or without that direct bank feed. So with a direct bank feed, obviously is much easier because you don't have to take your bank statements and upload it into Xero to do your bank reconciliation. But if you don't have the direct bank feeds, then all you have to do is just upload your bank statements into Xero, and the matching process will carry on for the bank reconciliation, as was shown by Vivian earlier. Yeah. So great question. A lot of people have asked us that as well. No, there is no need to have a direct bank feed in order to enjoy the feature of the bank reconciliation, auto matching, and all the other features that comes with it as well. Yeah. Okay. Great. Is there any questions that I have potentially missed out? I think there was one question regarding a price per active user. Again, the very good news about Xero is that it has unlimited user. Yeah. So I think that is something that is not easy to find in softwares nowadays, whereby you can add as many people as you want. So you can add your entire organization in as a user, and also have audit trails together with that to know who is doing what. Because with Xero, you just subscribe for your entity. So it's an entity level subscription, and you can then add as many users and set their user roles accordingly. Yeah, so that is a great news for you if you're interested into moving on to Xero Cloud Accounting. Yeah. Okay. And what other questions did I miss out? Panchin, do you see anything else that we have?
No, I think we covered most of the. From what I can see, we covered most of all the questions.
Yeah, that's great. Yep. So yeah, I hope that every one of you got a chance to learn more about cloud accounting and how just moving onto the cloud can really help your company to get onto the next level, right? And to digitalize, yeah. And I see a lot of PMs already. Thank you very much for all your support. We are more than happy to contact you shortly. Yeah, we are happy to share with you what we have on offer and to help you to get onto your digitalization journey. Yeah. So any last or parting words, Panchin and Vivian?
No, it's just thank you all for attending this webinar and listening to our sharing. And again, I'd just like to thank YYC also for the opportunity to have me here with you on the webinar. So thanks, Joyce. Great. Thanks, Vivian.
Yeah, we really appreciate your time, Panchin. Yeah, and Vivian?
I'm actually really happy that I got invited to share with everyone today. So it's like creating an awareness to the public that it's a stepping stones to every SMEs to compete. All right? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and we're very appreciative for all you viewers out there who's stuck with us this entire time. And we hope that was a fruitful session for you. We are happy to also contact all of you who have PM down below, and we are going to speak with you shortly. Yeah. So have a great weekend, everyone, and stay safe, and of course enjoy the rest of your MCO. And hopefully we will grow our business together on this digitalization journey. Yeah. Okay. Take care, everyone. See you. Bye.
Bye.
相反。